Welcome, everybody. This is Penn Street, and welcome to the podcast. Today's guest is Christine Holmberg, who is the executive director of Foresight Ski Guides, which operates out of Vail, Colorado. And it's organizations like Foresight that have made it possible for me to get back into skiing this year. It has been so much fun. And I had the privilege of skiing for the first time in Vail with the Foresight Ski Guides just a few weeks ago. And it really was life-changing for me. So Christine, thank you so much for being on the program today. And also thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you guys are doing. So how in the world did you ever get involved with Foresight Ski Guides? I know you're fairly new to the program. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up doing what you're doing.
Sure. Well, thank you, Penn, for having me. I really appreciate it. I mean, certainly I'm proud of Foresight and love talking about it whenever I get the opportunity. So thank you very much. And it was certainly a pleasure to get you out on the mountain recently when you were up in Vail. So glad that we were able to make that happen. I have been with Foresight 3 years. I just celebrated my 3-year anniversary.
Yay.
And so that was very exciting to have that come on board. Thank you. It's been a crazy ride since I came on board. When I originally joined the organization, I was the program director. And the idea is that I would just be operating like the day-to-day operations of the organization. And about 4 or 5 months after I came on board, our founder decided it was time for him to step down. And so once he stepped down, it was presented to me, what would you like to do? And so after thinking about it for a couple of days, I said, I love this organization and I love all the people I work with. So if you'll train me or provide me with opportunities for learning, I would love to take over as executive director. And so that happened about 2.5 years ago. And it's been such an amazing opportunity for me. I've learned so much. I had never worked with people who had vision loss before. My background is varied and I had just wanted something different. I wanted something that felt good, something to get me out of bed in the morning that felt good and not the grind. I had been a corporate event planner before. I worked in hotel sales before. I was a TV producer in a past life, and that was probably the most fun I've ever had, was doing that, other than Foresight. But I just wanted to work with people. It's not like I sought out Foresight, it just was an opportunity really that presented itself. I was friends with one of the guides. They were hiring. I kept seeing job postings every year and I'm like, what's going on with this? And so fortunately, the opportunity presented itself and he helped streamline my resume to the board. And here I am,
here
3 years later. And so happy, like, oh my gosh, what an amazing group of people to work with. It's fantastic.
Well, and it shows how incredible you are. One, that you're still here and you have a job, because with COVID, that's not true for everybody. But you brought this program through COVID stronger than ever. And last summer, you started the very first summer program with Foresight. So share a little bit about how that came to be and what were some of the things that you guys are doing with that summer program.
Absolutely. We're very proud of the summer program for sure. Yeah, COVID was tricky, no doubt. We actually had a group from Denver Public Schools. So the way our program works is we work with youth and we also work with adults. And most of the youth we work with come from school districts in the Denver, Colorado Front Range area. And then also Colorado School for the Deaf and the Blind down in Colorado Springs. So I work with their teachers of the visually impaired. We choose dates at the beginning of the season, and then we'll bring the kids up for 2 days of skiing. And so we transfer them up here. We provide lodging for one night. We provide their lift ticket. We provide their equipment if they need equipment. If they are new to the sport or very, very much a beginner, we will also provide instruction from Vail Adaptive. If they are more advanced skiers and know how to ski, then we'll just take them out like we would an adult.
Yeah.
And with our adults, that's how it works. They just we would just, they'll call us almost like a concierge and like, these are the dates I'm interested. And if they need help with lodging, we can assist with hotel reservations. We'll provide them with a lift ticket as well. So it's a very easy program to work with because we sort of give you everything you need. You get all the tools that you need in order to participate. So right as COVID was starting to take hold, we had a school group up here, and it was a little hectic because, we were where we meet in Golden Peak. It's a medium-sized lodge area, and there was a ski race taking place at the same time. Wow. So here we are in this lodge. It's the beginning of March. We've got 9 kids from Denver Public Schools up. And then you've got dozens of ski racers and their coaches, and everybody's, gathered in this one place. I think it was even cold temperatures. So people were gathering in the lodge because they didn't want to be outside. It's cold. And, you're looking around at everybody and it's like, should we be here? Like, what should we be doing? And, nobody really knew what to be doing, what we should be doing. So the group finished, and then that Friday, boom, everything shut down. And, it was very important to us to keep the program going. We didn't want to shut down. We didn't want to have to stop providing the services that we provide.
Yeah.
And so for the 2021 ski season, so last year, we decided, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but I pushed the board and said, look, if we can do it, we need to still do it. Like, I get that maybe we can't do the kids, and all of the schools, of course, canceled field trips. So we couldn't do any of our youth programs last year, but I impressed upon them the importance of still having a presence during a pandemic. Like, the outdoors is where we all wanted to be. That was the safe space, was the outdoors. And so, I made the case to the board, like, I really think that we should guide adults because that's where people want to be. And we need to show Vail Resorts, we need to show the general public that we're not going to let this get us down. We're going to continue operating safely. We certainly wore masks and, had all, like, we didn't meet in the great room at Golden Peak. We had to meet somewhere else. And, we adjusted just like everybody else has had to adjust. But it was really important to keep this going. And we did. And we had new people. I mean, we started guiding Eric Weinmayer, and who knows if that would have happened if it hadn't been for the pandemic. It was just sort of a turn of events that made that work. And that's been a great relationship. I mean, that's how we got connected with you, was through one of Eric's events over the summer. So, it was really important to keep that going. And one of the things that I was tasked to doing when I was hired back in 2019 was to launch a summer program. A number of our senior guides really wanted to move into that summer space so we could continue to provide the transformative experiences that Foresight, that research has shown that Foresight provides. And not everybody's a skier, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Some people don't like the cold and they don't want to be in the snow. They want it this summer. So it was really important that we were able to do that. And so last summer we put together a 2-day camp. We held it 2 different times, got the information out to the schools very last minute, but still we were able to serve. I think we had 5 or 6 in the first camp and like 6 or 7 in the second camp in July. And it was awesome.
Wow.
They came up, we took them stand-up paddleboarding. We did a relay race on the lake, which was really fun. It's always nice to add a little competition.
Exactly. So, I mean, I want to come.
Well, we're trying to figure out how to do the adult component of that, but for kids, it's
keep us in the loop. Keep us in the loop.
Absolutely. I'll add you to the list because I do have a couple other adults who are interested and definitely want to participate in some summer activities. So I'll keep you posted on that. But we took them paddleboarding. We had lunch at the lake in Avon. There's a lake right there in Avon, if people aren't familiar with that. And so we met there, had lunch, did some goal setting, did the paddleboarding. Then we went on a hike in one of the local trails. We had some naturalists from a local nonprofit who joined us and just talked a little bit about the flora and fauna and what it means to get out in your backyard. Because a lot of the kids that come up, or that participate in our program don't necessarily have access to the wilderness. And so we wanted to give them that access to the wilderness. We did that. And then the next day we went rock climbing up in Camp Hale, where the 10th Mountain trained. So we did some rock climbing. Then we went over to one of the activity providers up there, and the kids did some archery and then some fly fishing.
Wow.
So we did feed them lunch again. Like I'm not that cruel.
You kept feeding them. That's good.
I did feed them, but I did really have them booked from morning until afternoon because I have kids. I know what it's like. You give them a moment to like relax and you lose them.
Yes. And oftentimes even with adults.
Yeah, true. Very true.
So Christine, I loved how you use transformational experiences, because what you guys do, I mean, I've only experienced the ski part, but the 2 days that I was able to ski with you, it was more than just skiing. It really transformed how I looked at skiing, my ability, my skills, and also built out those blocks so that I could trust my guide more. And it really was an inclusive experience. And you at the end, you do a little survey with us before we leave. And those questions you asked, I think were really amazing, because it really made me think about, well, what did I like best about these last couple of days? Or, and I think when you said, well, was there anything you didn't like? And I was like, no, it wasn't.
Yay.
Yeah. So it really, I love that you guys are recognizing what you're doing. You're not just taking people skiing. You're not, just taking these kids stand-up paddleboarding. It really is life-changing, and you're giving us all skills that we can take back home with us to use in our jobs, our community. And that's what makes you guys so special. And it's why you guys have been around a long time. And that's probably one of the reasons why.
We have. This is our 21st year with the ski program, obviously, since that's the foundation of the program. So yeah, I mean, for 21 years, we've been doing this, and you hit the nail on the head, Penn. I mean, that's why Foresight was founded. I mean, the founder, when he lost his sight, he had been a lifelong skier. And after sort of adjusting to losing his sight, he wanted to try skiing again. And it was so profound in his life, or for his life, to be able to do something again that he loved oh so much, that he was like, I have to make sure everybody can do this who is in the same situation that I am, because of what you just stated, that the confidence that returns once you realize that you can ski down a hill, even it doesn't have to be a black diamond. It can just be the bunny slope.
Absolutely. But and I think what really struck me the 2 days that I got to spend with you, the faith that the guide had in me. It so many times when you are blind or visually impaired, you're being led. Like, you have to go this way because somebody says this is the safest route, and you have to do it this way or whatever, because you're always following. Mm-hmm. And the thing that really stuck out to me with Foresight, one, the guide asks you, like, would you prefer me guiding in front of you or behind you? Like, rarely do people even ask you what you want. And, and at first I was like, I don't know. And so they said, well, let's try it this way and see how it goes. And then let's try it the other way, and then you'll know. But the guides trusted me and my abilities and treated me like I was a sighted person. It was like I was out skiing with friends. It wasn't a chore. It wasn't, that I was being led and I was being told how to do it, when to do it, where to do it. It was, hey, Penn, you're standing at the top of the lip and this is what the terrain looks like, and go. Yes, they told me when to turn and that kind of thing, and they kept me safe, but it was you gave me the opportunity to ski free that we just don't get, and to even move free. And that's one thing that was really stuck out to me with Foresight guides is they gave you the opportunity to do something that you love and to reconnect with something that you love. And Bill Johnson, the author of Snowblind, which I do recommend the book to everybody.
Me too.
Catch his episode. I think I interviewed him a few weeks ago. And Bill said the same thing, is that he actually became a better skier because of Foresight ski guides after he lost his vision. And it was because of the way you guys guide and your whole philosophy on that transformative experience that really makes a big difference. I know it did for me. And, Bill was there. And it's why, here in a few weeks, we're taking a group of, our audio trekker team up to ski with you guys. And I'm sure that they're going to feel just like I did.
I hope so. And if they don't, you let me know.
They will.
I'm pretty confident that they will. I mean, because the experience that you have is the experience that most people have, especially the adults, the kids, maybe their experience, I think, is going to be different just because their life experience is different.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that they're not still learning things and they're not still gaining tools that they will take with them and use their whole lives. But for the adults, it's always a little bit of a different experience. And like one of the VIP, we call them VIPs, visually impaired participants. And one of our VIPs, it was my first year. She came, skied 3 days in Beaver Creek. And the third day, she and her team met up with her kids. She has two teenage boys, and they were in ski school, I think. Maybe they weren't. And they all met up because she has some vision and wanted to ski with them. Oh. And so they went out and went up to the top of Beaver Creek. It's an awesome family beginner area up there. We're skiing down. They got tight enough so she could follow her guide and get the commands, but yet she could still see her kids skiing. And they stopped partway down the hill, and the guides turned to her and she's sobbing. Oh. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, what's wrong? Why are you sobbing?" And she's like, "I cannot believe that I am able to watch my kids ski. Like, you have given me this amazing gift. You've allowed me to participate in a sport that I love with my kids, to share this passion that I have for skiing with my kids. And with most other things in life, it's quite difficult for us to share those things. Like, one of the boys is in the band, one plays football, and she would go to the games, but she would never know what was, like there'd be everybody would cheer, and her friends would go, "Oh, that was so-and-so, he just scored a touchdown." She's like, "Oh, great." But
yay,
wasn't participating, and this was actively participating. And I mean, it was one of the most incredible experience. This is what she told us. I mean, obviously I didn't experience it, but one of the most incredible experiences she had ever had. And she was like, "I would not have ever had that experience had it not been for Foresight."
Yeah. Well, and even for her kids. And for her kids, right? Mm-hmm. Her sons, to be able to have that memory that, hey, we can ski with mom now. This is something we can do as a family. It's the best gift ever.
It is. And she'll be here in a month. We've been emailing all day, getting ready for her trip. And she actually came out last summer and helped us with our July summer camp.
Oh,
and she's my guinea pig. She's like, "What do you want me to do? I'll go rafting. I'll go ziplining. I'll do like," she's like, "Anything you want me to do, I'll do it." So we're trying to get her back out here again this summer to help. And certainly we'll talk to you and figure out ways to get involved too, because we want it to be, certainly getting them out, getting the kids outdoors, getting them active, teaching them about physical fitness. That's important. But also teaching them life skills is also important, and meeting people like you, and how have you overcome adversity in your life? Meeting Tia, how has she overcome adversity in her life to be successful? So, there's just so much, it's so much more. And that's what I think people on the surface don't realize. They just see us out there skiing, and they'll stop us in the lift lines and be like, that's so cool that you're out here skiing.
Yeah.
Woohoo, and they cheer you on, but they don't really know how much more it is for somebody like you. And only you can speak to that. I mean, I can't, but you can speak to that.
But you see it. I'm sure you see people show up and, it's early when we meet with you guys at Golden Peak, and that, especially that second day that I skied with you, it was -20. And I was like, what are we doing? I'll just be back in bed with my coffee mug. And, but you see them when they first get there. And I'm sure some of us are pretty timid and nervous. I mean, even that first day, because I never skied with you. I didn't even know if we were in the right place. Where were we going? That kind of thing. And then you see them when they do that exit survey with you, there, you do get to see that transformation that you guys are making it possible. So
thank you.
How do people out there get a hold of you? Because I know that people come from all over the country, maybe even the world, to ski with you. And so how do they find out more about you?
So best place to start is probably our website, and that would be foresightskiguides.org. And from there, our telephone number is on there. There is a contact email on there. I mean, I can give those out too if you want.
Yeah.
But that's probably the best way to start. You can Google us, but foresightskiguides.org is where you can find us. There's, basic information about what we do and how to reach us. Always pick up the phone. I mean, that's going to be probably the quickest way to reach me, is to pick up the phone, and we'll just have a conversation, and, we'll talk about what your skiing ability is. And for the adults, you do have to be a skier. Like, we don't provide the adaptive instructors like we do for the kids.
Yeah.
For the adults. So, we'll just talk about your vision, what the situation is, what your ski experience is, what your guiding experience is. And then we'll just figure it out from there. We'll get dates on the calendar. I'll get guides scheduled. If you need help with lodging, we'll try with that. But we do provide lift tickets if you need them, and equipment rental. So if you need equipment and lift tickets, we provide those. And
you guys have such a great relationship with so many different businesses in Vail and Beaver Creek, which makes it so much easier, not just for ski day, but like lodging. You have some really great places where you can get some really incredibly discounted lodging, which is huge, because during ski season, in a place like Vail or Beaver Creek, right there would be a barrier that most people would not be able to go beyond. And so you've really created this whole incredible experience.
Thank you.
For all of us.
Well, and the accessibility part is also crucial. And we want to make sure that we keep a sport that is out of a lot of people's financial means accessible.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't live here, I would not have the lifestyle that I have. It just is not, it's like playing golf in a lot of places. So it's very important to us to keep it accessible. And Foresight is unique in that we don't charge a fee.
I know.
So that's one of the things that makes us completely different than most of the other adaptive programs. We have suggested donation levels, and those are listed on our website. We'll always take more than those levels. But
yes.
We do operate entirely on donations.
Yeah.
And grants. So, it's very important to us to make sure that anyone who has blindness or low vision has access to the mountains. Yes,
because, the unemployment and underemployment rate for people who are blind and visually impaired is, hovers right around that 75%. Mm-hmm. And so that really does create a huge barrier for when people want to do stuff like go skiing, that, like you said, a lot of, and other places, they may have scholarships and things like that, but there's not very many of them, and I talk to people all the time about skiing and always send them your way, because you do make it possible, and you work your tail off to make sure it happens, Christine. At least you have for me in my experience. So,
because it's about you, it's not about me. It's about making sure that you and all the other VIPs who come ski with us have the most incredible experience possible. So I will work tirelessly to make sure that happens.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thanks again, Christine. And thanks everybody for listening out there. You guys are amazing. Your notes and comments have been wonderful. And it's fun that we keep expanding around the world. So be good to yourself and find a way to touch somebody's life in a positive way today. So again, thank you so much, Christine.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.